welcome to our show. This is the lovely Lauren Pibworth, and I'm Dr. Carrie Fullerton, and I lead this Diet Rebellion. And I wanted to discuss with you the biggest misconception about what this is all about.
Absolutely.
And it would be, you can't just eat whatever you want.
Well, it's true. It's true. You can't. I mean, if you want to eat a chair, you can't.
That would probably not digest well.
No, it would hurt your teeth and just that whole thing. But you can eat whatever you want and pay attention to nutrition.
And that's the piece, isn't it?
Yes. Absolutely.
What people complain about and what they object about before they really understand what intuitive eating or the Diet Rebellion or any of these kinds of programs are about is that they feel like we're entirely neglecting nutrition. By telling people to put away their food rules and to stop with the restriction, that all they hear is that pendulum swinging way the other way, and it's just an excuse to binge and eat your face off. Okay, so some people have done that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Yeah. And then, of course, the pendulum swings back to restriction, and then the swings get bigger and bigger, right? But that's not what we're doing, is it?
No, that's not at all what we're doing. And I think I am a perfect example of the pendulum. I'm a perfect example. Because I went from being on the program for most of my life. And who are we kidding? I think I was 4 when my mom put me on my first diet. And she did it because she loved me and she didn't want me to grow up fat and ugly like her. Okay, Mom, I don't think that you're fat and ugly, and I never did, but you did. So I grew up knowing that fat was evil and I always needed to be thin. I did everything in my life to be thin. And finally, when I realized I was never going to be, I was thin at one point and extremely unhealthy and extremely unhappy. So I thought, fine, if thin isn't the way to go, I'm going to eat whatever I want, whenever I want. And I'm just going to say to heck with those rules, and I'm going to live by my taste buds and nothing else. And that feels like enjoyment at the moment, doesn't it, right? Because it's that kid in the candy store. You've been told you can't have anything, and then suddenly you're eating everything. And at first it feels very liberating. It was amazing at first,
but that goes away quickly, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. It turned from I can eat whatever I want to I'm gonna eat whatever I want.
The angry face. That
to heck with rules, that really negative feeling. And I wasn't enjoying what I was eating. I was eating it out of spite.
And I think that's the big thing, right? It's that at first it feels liberating. And I think a lot of people in the body positive movement that are on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and they're in that rah stage. And you know what? It feels really good at first, right? To stick it to the man.
Mm-hmm.
But just like dieting's not sustainable, that's not either. Because it's still very disrespectful to your body. It doesn't feel good to eat to the point of discomfort.
No.
It doesn't feel good to not nourish your body with good food. So you end up in a place of feeling awful, physically, mentally, emotionally, just drained and tired. It's just not sustainable.
No. Absolutely not. And so, but that inner place, that you know, because and don't kid yourselves. The pendulum still moves. You don't ever just reach that happy place and life is good forever.
What? You just burst my bubble.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's true. But when you reach that middle place, you realize that you eat to feed your body, to make your body feel good, and to honor the taste.
That's
right? It's you don't have to have only one or the other. There is a happy freedom place where you're just, food is awesome and it's part of my life, but it doesn't rule my life.
It's so beautiful that this is a conversation we're having today, because I was just having this conversation with my team yesterday as how do we articulate what we are? Where do we fit in this mesh of the anti-dieting world, the weight loss world? Where are we? And I said, guys, we're the middle. We're that sustainable solution that is not restrictive and harmful to your body in the dieting way. And it's also not the screw all the rules, I'm going to eat whatever I want, rebellious way. Mm-hmm. The diet rebellion is the middle. It's the space in between. And like you said, the pendulum still swings, but not so far.
No. It's the safe place.
It's peaceful and calm and nourishing and gentle and all things feminine. It's wonderful.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is, let me tell you.
Yeah, and I guess, this video is really important for both of us, I think, because as a rebel, these are the objections you face from your friends and your family and your colleagues who are very concerned about your health. And like she said about her mom, it is a genuine concern. People are terrified that if you're not dieting and you carry extra weight, and this happens to women at size 8, and it happens to size 28. Women are... It's unbelievable, but that's a rant for another video altogether. But it is this place of finding that moment.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot. The beginning of the Diet Rebellion programs always starts with calm.
Yeah. So
how do you incorporate the calm so that you can make those choices to honor your taste buds and your body and nutrition?
And you just said it. It starts with calm. I take a second to really think about whether this is what my body wants. And I never knew that my body has been talking to me. I've usually been talking over it, but my body has been talking to me forever. And it says, when I sit and I think, there's burgers and fries, and there's a chicken stir fry. I like both. What do I feel like? What does my body want? And I sit and listen. And if it says, no, you need those burgers and fries, then I eat it. But if it says, no, I don't think that you've had enough vegetables. And I'm not saying that. My body is saying that. I want something lighter. I want that crisp, texture from the vegetables, and I want the mixture of flavors. That's what I want. Then that's what I eat. And it's just such a liberating, freeing feeling to not feel guilt over whatever choice I make.
And that's the key thing, right? I mean, I'm sure that you can relate to that feeling of guilt. What is your guiltiest pleasure, as people call it, right? And it breaks my heart when we talk about food that way, because all food can provide nourishment. And it's really interesting, some of the research that as you are with your food is as your body is going to take it. So your mindset when you sit to eat, if you feel like you're being gluttonous and bad and wrong and you're hiding and you're doing it secretly or quickly, your hormones and your digestive tract actually handles the food totally differently than if you sit down with that food and peacefully enjoy and savor. So not a guilty pleasure, a savoring, enjoyable experience. And that could be a burger, or that could be a stir fry, that could be a salad, that could be a sundae. It's having that choice and that freedom to make that choice, which is so beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do without that freedom now, because I never realized how controlled my life was by what I thought other people were saying, what I thought other people were doing, what I thought, my inner bully was talking to me about. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just I smile more.
Yes, we brought props. I think you said it beautifully earlier, though, that your body has been talking. And that's something that your body talks to you, too. But if you've been in the diet and the fitness world, for that matter, too, we are taught to ignore inner cues, right? So we're talking a lot about food today, but it happens with fitness as well. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you're not getting enough sleep. I don't care if the baby's been up. You're going to get your workout and you're going to push it and you're going to do it hard, and it's angry and it's in your face and it's Jillian and Michael screaming at you, and it's terrifying and exhausting, and it can be quite traumatic for some women, and they just don't move anymore because that world it's very masculine and very angry, but it doesn't need to be that way. And food doesn't need to be that way either. You can soften the edges and listen to your own voice, and you have been taught not to trust it, right? We are taught, and it happens from a young age.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I see it with parents all the time with their children, and they're not meaning to create these problems. They're concerned that the children aren't eating enough, so they're trying to force feed them and trick them, and their body is saying they don't want any more food, and yet we're trying to shove it down their throats. And then on the days when they need more, we're saying you've had enough, and their body's going, but I haven't. And it starts so young, and then the diet and fitness industry gets hold of us at as early as age 8, 9, 10, and it carries on. So all these women come into this program going, Carrie, I can't just trust myself. Are you kidding me? That's what's got me here. And I'm going to challenge that by saying it's by not listening and not trusting your own voice that got you here. And that freedom exists.
That pendulum is just it's a weird, nasty thing, and I'm so happy that you helped me find the middle. So thank you.
So let's help you find the middle today by doing a quick little, how do you get into your body and pause moment. I talk a lot about the power of the pause, because in that pause is where that choice exists. So it's probably best to practice it when you don't really need it, because if you're right in the thick of that bully and that push and pull of I want it but I shouldn't, that can be a hard time. So practice it with smaller things, making your breakfast choice, making a snack choice, hopefully when you're not ravenously hungry, because that creates a lot of problems. And what you can do is just make sure you've got both feet on the floor. You can close your eyes or not, and just take a breath that goes right down into your belly. Let your shoulders drop, and just ask your body what it needs. And there you go. That's how you find the middle. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. You may get a few mixed messages because you're going to have all those other voices from all the years of dieting rules popping up. I promise your voice is in there, and the more you ask her to show herself, the more she's going to talk. Thanks for joining us today.